Ninjas are butterflies.
Ready to start Patreon? Sure.
Patreon!
Buzz a little potato.
Did you say potato?
Potato.
I'm a little potato.
I'm a little spud.
What's up, Chuck?
Nothing.
Did you guys hear Ben Affleck's playing Hulk Hogan in the new movie?
What? What?
Yeah, they're doing like a thing about like Hulk Hogan's like courtroom scandal, all that stuff like that. But apparently Ben Affleck is playing Hulk Hogan.
No.
Brother.
Is there a screen test of this yet?
I don't know. I haven't seen any pictures. But it's going to be hilarious.
Who would you pick for Hulk Hogan?
Dude, it'd be tough. I don't know, man. It would be... definitely not Ben Affleck.
No.
I think Matt Damon would be a better Hulk Hogan. Dude, Matt Damon should pay Ben Affleck, and then Ben Affleck should pay Matt Damon, but they redo Good Will Hunting.
That would be so funny.
They fully commit to it.
That would be so funny.
I like them apples.
What's new, Lil?
Nothing with me.
You seem like you're out of it.
I am out of it. I'm tired.
What are you tired from?
Oh.
What do you do all day?
Nothing important.
Words out of my mouth.
You see this guy? The last photo of Marco, I'm going to call him Marco S., before he attempted to snowboard down Mount Everest.
Of course, that's the last photo you'll ever take, dude.
Having already completed the feat once, he returned to Everest to try and conquer the harder North Face. He dropped in from the summit on September 8th, 2002, and was never seen or heard from again.
Oh, boy.
Maybe he found a family. Maybe he's happy somewhere.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
You did it once. You did it once.
No one else is going to do it.
No one. They're like, oh, someone already did it. Well, I guess I'll pick a different mountain. I'll do something else.
Come on, guys.
I think North Face, the company, killed him.
Did you see this? This mom and daughter that were trapped on an elevator and it started to flood.
Holy crap.
Dude, how much would you panic?
I would die from panicking.
I would drown before the water even touched me.
It was on basement level.
Dude.
What did they do?
They were able to get up and pry the door open and get out.
I'd be afraid of getting electrocuted, dude.
I know, me too.
Jeez, it's scary, man. I watched that Nate Crawley guy on YouTube. You would not like his channel because it is very, like, the deepest videos, like the darkest videos on YouTube or the deepest rabbit holes on YouTube. And it's just like really strange, weird stuff. But there's this one case in China where this mom and daughter rushed into a hotel condo place real quick. And with her young daughter, they didn't live there, go into the elevator. There's video of them coming out of the elevator, taking off their jackets. She's like frantic, putting the jackets on the ground in the elevator and then getting out. And there's literally no proof that they left the building. And this happened like 20 years ago. Still this day, they have no idea what happened. They were walking in, they were completely fine. And then on the camera, they seem hysterical. And then they're just gone.
What the heck?
They have camera angles at every exit possible. They've been looking for years. And it's still to this day, there's like no idea. Things like that, dude. It's just like, that's crazy to me. Like things like that just exist.
What happened to
People just go missing, man. But apparently like that, the whole floor where people live, there's only one person that lives on there now because everyone refuses. Like it's a huge thing in their culture. Like they think it like was something spiritual, something wacky. Just gone in the blink of an eye.
Speaking of disappearing,
Yeah.
did you ever hear that story of that guy that worked in a supermarket and he would like climb on top of the refrigerators? Yeah. Have you ever heard this? He would climb on top. There's like a little thing that you could slip behind, and like he would like sometimes just like hang out back there. And he was crawling up one day, and he slipped and fell down head first, and so he was stuck upside down
Oh gosh.
and was like screaming for help. But the refrigerators were so loud, no one could hear him,
Oh gosh.
and he was just gone. He was missing. 20 years later, when they were moving the refrigerators out, they literally found his skeleton.
Nobody smelled him?
You would think they would smell.
That's the thing that's crazy.
yeah.
It's like it must have been so good, like contained. Well, I don't know, man. Like that's crazy.
that's
like,
a terrible way to die.
They found
Being
his
upside down-
skeleton
20 years later.
It's like the putty cave guy.
Oh, I hate
It's
that.
like
I hate
dying,
that story.
dying, being hung upside down, like just helpless like that, unable to move.
Didn't they just let him die?
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's like inject my foot
That's what I'm saying.
with like a sleeping thing or something. They had to close it off and just let him die.
You know that story, right?
Yes, I do. I
Yeah.
don't.
Dude, it's
You guys are bumming me out.
it's creepy stuff, man. I don't like spelunking. Is that what it is? Like cave,
Yeah.
isn't that cave exploring? For such a fun name, not a great time.
No. Dude, I get
Probably one of the funnest words.
I get anxiety watching those dudes.
There's a horror movie. It's people argue about it all the time how it's just like literally the scariest movie. It's called The Descent. Have you ever seen it?
No.
It's this girl's husband passes away in like the opening scene, and so it's like this girl just dealing with the loss of her husband. So all of her girls, like they just like, hey, girls trip, we're going out to a cabin, we're gonna go, cave exploring, and they've all done it before. Not a big deal, but things go wrong, and it's the whole time this tight spaces crawling through, and then they run into literally like a cave dweller that's never seen the light of day, so it's like exactly what you would think. And it is one of the scariest movies I've ever seen in my life. It's a good one. People should watch it. That actually would be a great movie for a movie night. Because it's literally just like the whole time they're in a cave.
Not a chance.
That would be, I mean, it would
You
get
just
you.
called it potentially the scariest movie of all time.
Yeah, but it's not like,
not a chance.
but it's not like,
Like demonic or like.
yeah, it's just a simple cave
I
exploring
can't
movie.
trust you with your
No, that's not definitely not as bad as that one. The what was that one called? Barbarian.
Barbarian.
Yeah. We do need to do another one.
Well, speaking of things hiding in caves,
What?
Nephilim.
Yes.
So, the story. I've talked to both of you kind of about it, but I haven't talked to you about it yet. The story of Esther.
Yes.
And so Esther's uncle Mordecai and Haman is like the villain in this story.
Right.
And as the story's always been taught to me, Mordecai refused to bow to Haman, and so Haman was angry with him. But then I saw this thing, I forget the Instagram account, but they talked about Haman's lineage, and he was descended of the Amalekites. And if you go further and further and further back, you realize that Haman is actually descended of people who were known to live in valleys in Canaan, descended of a giant race of people. And
Oh,
so
wow.
we talk about like how even today there's this Nephilim versus Jewish bloodline. But I think we see that same exact sort of scenario happening like with what Hitler did.
Mhm.
And then if you've got it happening, he literally was trying to eradicate the Jews because they tried to eradicate his people in the Old Testament. And I think it's still happening.
Spooky.
But you think about like the DNA tests and stuff, that's a way that they could be like, yeah, you've got either if they're looking for allies in preserving a bloodline, or if they're looking for like, this is a DNA marker we want to eradicate.
What would the government want, do you think? But they would want to be able to control it. So they would definitely want to create.
It
Right.
comes to control and worship. Like,
Yeah.
is there this like, we value this race or these?
Or could they formulate a virus or pathogen that it targets certain people's DNA
yeah,
Sure.
true.
to where they release it, and it's only those people that they deem
Yeah.
should not be here?
Dude, you scared me with the COVID test thing. Because like I was thinking like, are they getting my McDonald's cup out of the trash can and get my DNA or something like that? But when you said that, it's like I remember. You remember how hectic those lines were?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody was getting tested, and it's like, I mean, yeah, sure.
Probably almost
the
everyone in
virus
America.
the virus could have been real, and it was real, sure, on paper. But was it as bad as they said? No, maybe not. So, but like the fear made people go get tested all those things go in tubes. You see how
Isn't it-
easy
yeah.
like tests at home were,
Yeah.
but they made sure everything was completely like, I don't know, man.
Isn't
It's
that
just
weird? Because like still, even when I bring my girls in because they've been like sick for too long or something, they're like, well, "Let's get a COVID test."
yeah,
And it's like, why? Because are you going to treat them differently? No, you just give them Tamiflu like if they had the flu.
yeah.
Why do you have to know what it is? I
Yeah.
guess it's,
it's
so they
crazy
can
that it went
report
so
it,
life and
but-
death overnight, and it's like
Yeah.
the majority of people did not get vaccinated, and so it's like, but it just went away, like we just stopped dealing with. I don't know. It's weird.
It's weird.
It's I don't. I'm so done with the whole thing, but it just doesn't
Yeah.
set right with me. It's always something always seems off from the get go. Maybe because we were just in Florida too, and we didn't take it as seriously as
Right.
most people did. But I don't know. Very strange stuff. Very scary.
Who knows?
The government's up to something though.
They're up to something.
That's the thing. It's coming to a head. Something's gonna happen.
Dude, 81% of Floridians got vaccinated.
81?
That's staggering.
I just don't trust anything like that.
Who are
Sure.
they polling?
I don't know.
Yeah, they
Like, how do you
asked-
even?
I guess they would know. They would take a census and then they would know who got vaccinated based off of the record of it.
But the majority did not get the second dose.
Probably because they got the first one and they kept getting COVID.
Yeah.
Did
Very
you see-
strange.
Did you see that? It's probably already done now, but we talked about the Taylor Swift concert in Vienna getting canceled,
Mm-hmm.
but
Don't
then
remind me.
but then I was like going and I was just seeing these really obscure videos of like this bomb going off in Vienna around the same time. Did you see this?
You showed me, dude. This is so scary.
Look at this. So there's that, right? And then you see like these like giant protests and stuff that are happening in Vienna. And so when I try to look up that stuff, like bomb going off in Vienna, these protests, these whatever,
Yeah.
it's just flooded with Taylor Swift concert canceled, Taylor Swift's concert's
It's
canceled.
always something.
And like you could not find anything regarding that bomb.
Okay, so what are they protesting there? Is it a Free Palestine movement or is it?
Yeah.
What is
Well,
it?
that they were carrying Palestinian flags. But what's happening in the UK right now is
I know.
crazy.
I'm glad that you brought it up because I want to talk about it, but I just don't. I want to tread lightly.
Okay.
But I'm just. What triggered this in my head again, though, was you talking about how the Dome of the Rock is off limits for praying for the people of Israel, which to me is strange. I guess it dates back to the Ottoman. It's old. It's an old rule.
Mhm.
So it's not like a recent thing. But this idea to me, and maybe I'm showing my cards, but what's happening in the UK, and it's just alarming to me that a group of individuals can move to another place and demand that things change to benefit them.
Yeah.
To me, that's like, are we on crack?
Well, I mean, dude, it's just history repeats itself. It's like that's how you would make empires, right? Like
Right.
you would go and conquer land, but it looks different now. You're not going by like horse and you're not like attacking these cities. It's just like
No, you said
well,
robot
you
dog.
just you move in, right?
Yeah.
You move in, you populate the area, and especially with these democratic run countries,
Yes.
the more people you get, then it's like the slow game, right? You can elect officials that are pro your side, that can implement your ideology from your country, and it's
Yeah.
just like then it's just game over.
It's a rigged system no matter what. I mean, like
Yeah.
it's just whoever's on top. That's all
Yeah.
it is. It's just going to benefit whoever. It's rich versus poor at the end of the day.
I'm just like, okay, so you moved to France. Andy Denum moves his family to France.
We.
And you're like, I hate baguettes.
Yeah.
And you're like, eradicate the baguette.
Yeah. They're like, who are you?
And they're like, this is a culture that has been in existence for
Who are you,
thousands
chubby
of
man, to
years.
tell us not to eat a baguette?
You of course look like you eat plenty of baguettes.
I
It
would
seems
just
like
be
you would benefit from eating baguettes.
I would just be like, beat it. This is the land of baguettes. If you don't like it,
Yeah.
see you never.
I mean, that's what
Land
the
of bigots.
oh,
Baguettes. More like baguettes.
that could be how I'm coming across, though. But I just,
no, but I mean that's what the protests in the UK are, that's what they're about right now.
Right.
Is that the native people of the United Kingdom are like, you're taking away our freedoms, And like we're suffering mainly because of illegal immigrants, of them just pouring, because the UK is having the same problem, not as drastically as the US, but the US is like freaking 100 times bigger than the UK, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like they're taking over certain parts of cities, and like it's just unrest, and crime rate is skyrocketing because it's like the illegal immigrants are more protected than the people of the UK
the
or
citizens
whatever.
of UK.
Yeah. And it's just like, it's just so backwards. And so they're like protesting. And then the UK government is just like now targeting citizens of the UK, saying like, if there's any hate speech on social media,
Yeah.
even if you retweet it, repost it, you will be arrested and tried.
But
Yeah.
isn't that weird? It's
Even
like,
misinformation, like stuff that you like that happens to be wrong, and that's what Trump and
Yep.
they you tell me
they sued Elon Musk.
and that's where I get apprehensive, because it's like, okay, what is hate speech? Who's defining what hate speech
it's
is?
so
Like,
subjective. It's free
Yeah.
speech.
Have you guys
Yeah.
heard this clip of the like super old British lady talking about being offended?
I think so.
No.
I don't think
Let me-
so.
let me
Oh,
just
is
play
it the
It's
old
short.
lady? Yeah.
What is happening?
Or you get like the double up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does that sometimes.
Coming back to that.
I saw one lady. She was British, and she was yelling at the camera. She's like, "I'm not racist. I care about my kids who are being, the kids that are being murdered. All these things, like these things are a danger. It's like you can call me racist, but I'm not." She's like, "This is our home,
Yeah.
and people are being murdered in the street. It's like this is not okay."
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like how do you control that when all this stuff is going on? That's what I keep saying. It's coming to a head. Like there's got to be
Yeah,
something that's
you
going
can't-
to
it's-
unify everybody, because we have to.
The only way, especially like within the UK, if you want to control it, then you turn into a dictatorship,
Yeah.
right? Because then it's just like, if you want to be like, okay, well, everyone that shares these beliefs, we're going to kick you out of the country, or we're going to jail you. And it's just like, then that goes against democracy, right?
Right.
So it's like, it's a catch-22.
Yeah, I remember being asked this question. I can't remember the exact specifics of it, but it was in my business law class in college, which I think that he leaned in a certain direction, which was kind of opposite of the college that I went to. And I remember him asking, and it was a really moral question. It was about like being tried for something like the reunification of a family. Like something happened, like a child was born here and she was an illegal immigrant or whatever that looked like. But it's like this person, I don't know. I remember it being asked that and just being like, it's obviously clear that rights belong to the people of the country. But then it becomes very moral. Like I realize too, it's a complicated issue because nobody likes to see like deportation or like families broken or any of those things. And so I know it's so complicated. And
Well, you know what's crazy is that we're so focused on like the obvious of like this ideology taking over all this stuff. But then you go to an actual Muslim country, which is Iran, and you see what Christ is doing with like if you're pursuing Christ, it will change the culture. The fact that Iran has the fastest growing underground church in the world, yet it's a Muslim country, that's all. I'm like, we're technically on the winning side.
Oh, there's the question: would you give up your religious freedom for the expanse of the gospel?
Yes.
But would the average American give that answer?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like that's the question being posed.
But yeah, I mean, it's just like instead of focusing on everything that's wrong with people and with these cultures, focus on what we're called to, which is to spread the gospel and to make disciples. And if you focus on that, it doesn't matter what happens, because it's just like, you know that what you're doing is you're good.
Yeah.
You know?
Can I share this one thing? I don't really love him that much, but he makes some good points every now and then. Charlie Kirk, that guy.
Oh yeah.
He's like, I don't know. I can't even really compare him to what's his face, but all right, just listen to this part.
John Adams famously said the Constitution was only written for a moral and religious people. It was wholly inadequate for the people of any other. The body politic of America was so Christian and was so Protestant that our form and structure of government was built for the people that believed in Christ our Lord. One of the reasons we're living through a constitutional crisis is that we no longer have a Christian nation, but we have a Christian form of government, and they're incompatible. So you cannot have liberty if you do not have a Christian population. That's just a surface level belief. So then they'll go to the First Amendment, which is two parts of the First Amendment which get conflated. First of all, separation of church and state is not in the U.S. Constitution. That is a single letter that Thomas Jefferson wrote in 1807 to the Danbury Baptist Convention in Massachusetts, assuring them that the government would not come after the church, okay, which is the opposite of what they would say. However, that was then resurrected by the Warren Court and the Burger Court in the 60s, where they said, hey, all of a sudden we're now going to make this as if it's the Constitution. It does say in the Constitution two things, which is the Establishment Clause and the Free Expression Clause. John Adams famously said the Constitution.
So just kind of like an idea of just
I
like
think
how things have shifted, obviously. And
I've
obviously,
heard him talk about the forefathers too, the founding fathers,
Mm-hmm.
and like how they're all Christian men and stuff. I don't believe that.
well, I mean, you can't. Especially with the standards they
population,
had.
like it was probably 99% of the U.S. in those days were Christian, Protestant, or Catholic. But the founding fathers, I don't believe were.
I mean, I'm
but
sure
it's like
they.
you go with the
I'm sure
populace,
they
right?
identified as that because that's
Yeah.
like that was their
Culturally.
raising. That was their.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was nothing on a spiritual, deeper level. Probably. I don't know,
Yeah,
but I don't know, man. It's always
that's a interesting take though.
yeah. It's the thing is you can't just rein all this stuff in,
No,
and so it just make you wonder what's around the corner.
Yeah.
Boo.
just pee.
Gosh.
He really got me, dude.
Just
You
look at like
really
a
got me.
confused expression on his face. What's happening right now?
This was terrifying to me. Ready for this?
Like
These guys go in like this. I don't even know what this is, but like. So it says still water, stagnant water is so scary. And they're in this like cave thing.
Uh-huh.
Outside there's a warning. It says danger, deep water. And then it says caution, non-buoyant water.
So you sink?
You can't float in this water. I don't know if it's like aerated or like,
Gravity's different or something. Oh my
but
gosh,
that like,
dude.
so if you fell in that,
You would just sink.
you sink. You can't float. You just,
That's so scary.
it's so scary.
Good thing I got floaties on my arms.
Good thing.
Golly, dude.
it
What
says, danger, aerated water. This water has no buoyancy. You will not float.
No, thank you. I pass on that.
No, thanks.
What's up? So it's like naturally occurring.
I have no idea. That's
scary.
you know as much as I do.
Oh, okay.
Judging off the
has
science.
to do with gas in the water making the density of the water less, so there's not enough resistance to hold you up.
Well, they talk about that. That could be one of the mysteries of the Bermuda Triangle.
because it just
all
sucks you to the bottom.
These ships that sink and they can never find them. There's methane gas that can sometimes be released in that area, and it aerates the water, and these ships just go whoop
Oh, jeez.
That's crazy.
with it. And they said it happens within like 2 minutes.
Yeah,
and so like signaling like for help, like your ship's just going like this
And you can't jump out because you're.
because you're also in the area
And
of
also,
water.
I've
and
never
also
thought
you're getting
about-
buried under sand because as the currents move, the sand moves, and you're just sinking farther. Like you're not. It's almost like you're literally just being pulled.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dude, I've never thought about aerated water being more difficult to swim in. But you think about like when you bail on a surfboard and you're like in turbulent white water.
I know
you're
all
just
about
like, you've surfed.
I know. I'm kidding.
You're like, come on.
That's
man.
why I always am afraid of hot tubs,
Yeah,
jacuzzis.
yeah.
You could die.
You could die, man. What a way to go, though.
Bubble baths.
You see that? There's this video. I think it was in Japan or something, but it was just like this long canal. But all these huge like carp and fish were jumping out of the water like crazy, like hundreds. And it was raining really, 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 really hard. And apparently, it's because when it's raining, there's not enough oxygen reaches in the water, and so the fish literally have to jump out.
That's so wild.
Yeah, it's
There's
crazy.
not enough when it's raining.
Yeah, like there's something that happens that it's not there. It takes out a certain amount of oxygen within
Weird.
the water, and that fish need to get out and actually breathe. So weird. I don't know.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about this before, and you mentioned it before too, of like the things that they're finding, those like ball things that they're finding on the ocean floor.
Yeah, they can use for energy.
Yeah.
But did you know that they create something that scientists are now discovering called dark oxygen? And what they're discovering with these sphere things
Yeah.
is that there's no biological thing to them, right? So it's basically like this compound of like, I don't know, iron, something, but it creates an electrical current, which creates oxygen. And scientists are puzzled because they always thought that oxygen had to be created from a biological, like plants
Yeah.
and trees and all that stuff. But these things on the bottom of the ocean, they said at the depths of this ocean, there's more oxygen down there than there was on the way down, because they're literally creating oxygen called dark oxygen. Weird. Yeah.
What does that mean?
The aliens living in the ocean,
I was
baby.
going to say,
bro.
again, there's stuff down there that we do not know anything about.
Yeah, I want to know the evolution of those things. Like, how did those things come to be?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I forgot to tell you, Mark, what's his face?
Zuckerberg.
No. Andrew Scholl's buddy,
Mark
Yeah.
Mark Gagnon.
Agnon.
Gagnon.
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 It's
Gagon.
Gagnon. His brother-in-law, you
Yes.
know, that we met.
The pilot.
Yes. He texted me the other day,
I was just thinking about him the other day.
and he's like, hey, I'm at the Alltech Navy base in the Bahamas, which, do you remember talking about that?
Yeah.
It's like basically the Area 51 of the Navy,
Okay.
and it's like no civilians allowed to go there. And he's like, what should I be looking for? I said, yo, ask everyone around there if they've seen some stuff.
Wow.
Because supposedly that's like where their theory is that they are in cahoots with this alien like
But they said
race
they're
that live underwater.
they're
And
observing aquatic vehicles flying out of the water. Like, it's
so he's there right now. He's stationed there for
spooky.
a couple months, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a military thing. He's a military guy.
Yeah, Navy.
I was thinking about
Full-time.
why, because we were talking about Y-Files, and he was like, remember him saying that he's like, he sits and he watches it with his son, and he's like, this is, you have to pay attention. And he's like, his son is like 1 year old.
Oh,
I'm like, that's intense.
yeah. Yeah.
Lots of conspiracies.
But that
Wow,
would be
interesting.
rad. I don't know how classified
Yeah.
his stuff is, but like that'd be so rad if he came back and we were able to get him on.
yeah. That's that kind of stuff you don't even know. Like, we probably can't even comprehend what kind of stuff they know on that base.
You're just going to
I
go
know.
to call him, and it's going to be like, this number is no longer.
Woof.
I need to text him, like, find anything out, because that was like a week ago, right? I told you, or was it this week?
this week, I think.
Okay.
Spooky.
Ghosts and ghouls.
Did you guys see that new thing on Stonehenge? They discovered one of the rocks is not from Wales.
Where's it from?
The altar stone is from Scotland.
Scotland,
I thought you were going to say
Oh.
something like
500
Africa.
miles away.
What?
Yeah. So the outside is from.
That's a rock. That's a little pebble in a pocket for a giant.
It's the biggest stone, correct? Or
Yeah.
one of the biggest? It was like 10
It's-
tons.
It's ridiculous. Like, science doesn't explain how to move it that far. It's like
Yeah.
one of those anomalies.
That's cool.
But what I thought was interesting is they were like, this is an explanation, or like gives us deeper insight into how all of the people of this area were actually getting along back then. And I was like, or this is like, like you think about the Israelite nation following like a pillar of fire. I was like, or this was some technology that they were moving this stuff by, and no one was going to even think about, stopping them from crossing their land. You know what I mean? It was like some display of technology, or they would call it magic that they don't understand.
Dude, well, the old Scottish and Irish days, dude, did some weird stuff,
Yeah.
like with the
Like what?
just witches and fairies and
Yeah.
But that,
what's the
Sprite.
no, like,
silky,
I forget. It was like just not Nordic. It's
Celtic.
yeah, no, it's just pagan stuff that
Yeah.
it was like deep rooted within the Scottish teams.
That makes more sense to me, though, for them to suddenly be like, hey, all these people actually got along in harmony. It's like,
We don't know that exactly.
yeah. Like, all we know is that the rock showed up and someone didn't stop it.
Yeah.
So you can ask questions as to why that didn't happen.
We have the potential to get someone really cool on the podcast.
Who?
I got a message from, I think, the manager. Yeah, the manager of L.A. Marzulli, which I'm like, that sounds so familiar. And I got this like a week or so ago, and I'm just like, I forgot about it. And then she emailed again, L.A. Marzulli. He's been on Blurry Creatures, and he's like 73 years old. And he is so studied up on the Nephilim
Wow.
and like the history of Nephilim and
Yeah.
like even Nephilim within America and like all this stuff. So that'd be pretty rad.
Is he a believer?
Yeah.
Cool. Interesting. Yeah, dude. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So they're reaching out to you, just like, say,
Yeah.
like, let's get a date.
Yeah.
Do it, dude. Yeah. Heck yeah. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Watch it's so he can debut his comedy career.
He just does an hour and a half of stand up.
All right, I have to go.
Okay. Well,
Lily has to go.
and I have to pee again, so
It's all coming to an end, guys.
I took kidney detox and liver detox
You started that?
this morning, and I think it's
And the
literally-
75 soft.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. What?
And I'm just
75 soft.
Yeah, that's what we
bye,
talking about.
Lily.
They're-
Bye.
See you,
Love
Lil.
you.
Love you.
It's okay. Think you're hot, bro.
What?
Okay, now that the women are gone,
Girls, get out of here. If you're a girl, keep on scrolling.
Okay, last thing. Have you seen the meme going around with Harold and the Purple Crayon?
No.
You know that movie?
I've heard it's had terrible reviews. It's
But
awful.
people are saying like they're doing all these memes of like it's the biggest movie ever in human history.
Yeah.
And like they're doing like crowds like at the color purple like waiting to go see it. They put out like the #1 movie of all time.
Dude, that's honestly genius.
It's so funny.
They're getting the Minions treatment.
yeah.
I see. That's what I love. I wish we could just do that instead of like being mean all the time. We could
Yeah.
just make fun of people, but do it in a funny way where it's not like you're not putting someone down.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I agree.
Because apparently it's awful. Apparently it's just the worst.
Rotten Tomatoes give it 0%.
Dude, I just found out something crazy. This is a war crime. You know what has a 1% on Rotten Tomatoes?
What?
Master of Disguise.
Okay.
A 1%?
This is what I'm saying. Rotten Tomatoes is just trash.
Trash.
That you cannot. I never trust Rotten Tomatoes. I always do the Google reviews.
Yeah.
And sometimes IMDb.
Yeah.
What's
But,
your
like, if
okay?
it-
Give me a movie that you think should be like way up there on Rotten, and throw a couple out, and I'll look.
I
them
don't
up.
trust Rotten for anything.
I know, but I'm just curious, like what it would.
Let's do
Black Panther.
That's gonna have a 92.
And what do you think it'll be?
92. It's gonna have a 92. I don't think it's that high, but sure, it'll have like a 92.
96.
That's insane. It's a comic book movie. It can't be that good.
No.
No.
But what's the Google reviews? The Google is probably like 79%.
The people reviews on it was 79.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yes.
What's a movie that you think should be really good, but you think will be terrible?
Ooh.
Gladiator.
Zodiac.
I'll do I've already started typing Gladiator, and then I'll do Zodiac. What do you think it'll be?
On Rotten Tomatoes?
Yep.
It's kind of
That's gonna be high, I think.
70.
93.
And audience?
100.
Audience probably 86.
100.
Dude, you're on it. 87. But they give it an 80.
What? Are you kidding me?
That's what I'm saying.
Use Zodiac. This one's literally should have. This is crazy that it didn't even get an Oscar nomination, but when it came out, one of the biggest robberies in
What do we
Oscars.
think it'll be?
I've never seen Zodiac, but I think Rotten Tomatoes will give it.
David Fincher. This guy created Gone Girl, 7.
Okay, I think they give it a 68%.
I'll guess they gave it a 76, and then I think the score is 89 for audience.
Audience probably. I'm going with Andy because
Audience is 77. They give it a 90.
Good.
Oh.
Good. Very good.
So maybe you had bad taste.
Probably. I'm that Rotten Tomato.
Okay, you guys want to go eat something?
Let's go eat something.
After I look up Surf Ninjas.
Patreon, thank you so much for watching.
Yeah,
we love you guys so stinking much. We hope you guys had fun on the live last week. We're going to do a movie night probably next.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do a movie night next week or next week.
Okay.
After.
Surf Ninjas.
Surf Ninjas, Rotten Tomatoes. Geez.
It's going to be like a 6.
No. Surf Ninjas.
I haven't seen Surf Ninjas. What is the one I saw?
I'm gonna say 58
For audience or for Rotten?
for Rotten.
And what do you think audience?
60.
68 for audience. 23.
Awesome. We love you guys.
Love ya.
Appreciate it.